So good evening, everybody, and thank you for taking the time tonight to log on to this Lanzarote Wedding webinar. It's my absolute pleasure to be able to share with you this evening some fabulous Lanzarote wedding venues and also to introduce our wedding celebrant, Jackie, who has kindly agreed to join the webinar this evening to give you lots and lots of information about your wedding blessing ceremony here in Lanzarote. So I will be passing you on to her shortly so she can give you a lot of information which you will no doubt find really useful, and it's also just a great way for you to also meet her. I'll be featuring some fantastic venues, like I said, some of the top featured Lanzarote wedding venues, and also revealing a little bit more information about one of the brand new Lanzarote wedding venues that is proving to be very popular and has already had some interest from the sneak peek that I put on recently via my Facebook page. So let's get started. So I thought I would run through some really key bits this evening. It's all about planning your wedding and making that whole experience as magical and as beautiful as possible. So I'm going to run you through my service, so the Lanzarote Wedding Planner, and the wedding planning service that I offer for couples. I'm then going to pass you on to Jackie, who's going to talk you through the wedding blessing side. And then I'm going to show you some of the top Lanzarote wedding venues, and then at the end of the webinar I'm actually going to give you guys the opportunity to type any questions into the questions tab for me to answer. I thought that might be a nice little thing for you to be able to do, because you might have some questions that I might not cover on the webinar because I don't want it to be too long for you. I just want to give you a little bit of an insight, but at the same time, if there are questions, I would be happy to answer them for you. So, I'm going to start the webinar this evening with a little bit of an introduction on who I am, and the wedding planning service that I offer, and how I like to work with the couples who book their weddings in Lanzarote through me. So my name is Lindsay, Lindsay Stonia, otherwise known as the Lanzarote Wedding Planner. I'm really passionate about wedding planning, and I absolutely love my job. In fact, the love of the job makes it actually feel less like a job, but more of a hobby and enjoyment, because I really do like to create that fairy tale wedding experience, and I take so much pride in my work that I really like to get to know the couples I work with, to make sure that it's a personal relationship, so that they can feel that they can approach me at any time if they need to ask anything along the way, because sometimes that might be the case. And if there's anything at all troubling them through the wedding planning process, that they know that I'm only a phone call away, or a WhatsApp message, or a Facebook message, or an email away, and they know who they're dealing with. And I treat each couple the same, with lots of enthusiasm, lots of excitement. Yeah, I like that each couple that I work with also have their own unique wedding experience. And what I really mean by this is that every couple has their own individual wedding package created for them, with their wishes met from start to finish. So I don't like to just offer set packages, which maybe other planning companies may be able to offer. I like to be able to tailor this to each couple I work with. Don't get me wrong, I always offer sample wedding packages for couples, but the wedding planning service that I like to offer is unique, I would say, to each couple. So it's their wedding experience, which means it has to be nothing short of magical, in my opinion. It's one of the best days in your life, and one that you want to remember forever. And so I want to make it as special as possible, and individual and personalised. That's really important. So the wedding planning service that I offer, and the wedding package that we would put together, we'd work together on over time, throughout the wedding planning process, to suit the style of wedding that you both would like, the budget that you have in mind, and basically the whole experience that you're trying to achieve. And I offer a full wedding planning service, which means that I work with the very best wedding suppliers in Lanzarote, from photographers, videographers, cake specialists, makeup artists, hairstylists, and I also offer a wedding styling and decoration service within my wedding planning service. So there's so much that I can help you with, and that's really, really important, I think, especially when you're back home in Ireland or in the UK, and you know, you really want to make it as perfect as possible, but you feel a little bit restricted because you're not here. I want you to feel that you can approach me at any time, and I'd be able to help you and make it just as perfect as I said, and just as special as possible. And I like to work really, really interactively, which means that yes, we'll no doubt be messaging a lot throughout the planning process via email, whether that's Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp. But I actually like to see the couples that I work with so they can meet me. Usually once a wedding has been booked with me, I automatically plan in a FaceTime and a Skype with the couple so they can meet me and I can introduce myself. And we can discuss ideas, and then we'll continually have these little sessions online. So you can feel comfortable with me, and so you know who you're dealing with as well, from the start of your wedding planning, so from the inquiry process to after the wedding. So I would be that main point of contact. So it wouldn't be a series of different planners, it would be me, and I obviously have an assistant that works alongside me, but your main contact will be me from start to finish, because I feel that that is the way that I can give you that personal experience and just to give you that professional service more than anything. So I'll be your eyes and your ears here in Lanzarote, and the person who'll be your contact, like I said, from start to finish. So that's a little bit about me. I've been on the island for many, many years. I grew up here in Lanzarote, so I have a great extensive knowledge of both Lanzarote and Fuerteventura. And being bilingual, that helps me when I'm negotiating and I'm liaising with suppliers and venues. And from that, it's fair to say that I have a good relationship with various suppliers and venues because of that knowledge and experience more than anything. So yeah, that's a little bit of insight about me, but enough about what I can offer. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually pass you on to our English-speaking celebrant, Jackie Lee, who is based here in Lanzarote. And Jackie really does offer an absolutely beautiful, personalised wedding service. I say that sincerely because, as you know, I've lived on the island myself many, many years. And, I only work with the very, very best suppliers and the very best people. And Jackie is certainly one of those. And she's also married me herself 5 years ago, in May, actually, this month, last week, actually, 5 years ago. So, she really is a very special person and one that I highly recommend to couples. So I'm just going to unmute Jackie now and I'll pass you on to her. Just bear with me a second. You there, Jackie?
I am Lindsay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jackie Lee, and Lindsay's given me a very nice introduction to you all. I thought what I would do tonight is just generally walk you through, if you can imagine, it's your wedding day and what's going to happen in your service. Now, I obviously use the planning stage the same as Lindsay does, and I still use Skype, FaceTime, WhatsApp, Messenger, if you want to get in touch with me and discuss your service. All the planning I leave to Lindsay completely, but the service obviously is about the three of us, sort of thing. Me, I'm just like the writer and the taker of the service, but I want it to be totally personalised to you both. Now, myself, I've been a wedding celebrant for 8 years. I've lived in Lanzarote for just over 13 years. And like Lindsay, I absolutely adore my job. It is a pleasure to work every day with lovely couples, creating this memories for them for a lifetime. And I'll just touch a little bit because, as you know, you can't get legally married in Lanzarote. So what I say to most people is, if you just treat it as the paperwork, so you need to book up with your local registry office well in advance, and it can be done any time before you come to Lanzarote, but most couples tend to plan it just before they fly over. They don't often celebrate it. Some people go out for dinner, but they go sometimes in their jeans with 2 witnesses and just do the paperwork. Very, very simple. And then their wedding blessing service here in Lanzarote is just like the real thing. In fact, majority of the time, the guests don't even know that it's not the real thing. We don't hide it from them, but it's simple to explain that the legal, this is the actual wedding blessing day, and it looks so wonderful with all the finery, all your dress, your decoration, and everything that you've planned for your perfect day. So you would arrive at the venue, whether it be by a limousine, by taxi, or whatever you've chosen, and you need to choose 2 pieces of music. One to come in and one to go out. So the music would start, and the groom would be standing with me, anxiously waiting for the bride to arrive, and the music would start. I would tell everybody to be upstanding, and then you, the bride, would take your journey down wherever your venue you've chosen. You would come in to meet us both, and the first thing the groom would do is to shake the person who's given you away's hand. Now you can come in on your own, it's not a problem, but normally it's somewhere like a dad, a brother, a good friend. It can be moms, it can be mom and dad, it can be 2 dad and then stepdad, whatever you choose, it's fine. But whenever you get to the top, the groom shakes the hand or gives the lady a kiss, and then they go and sit down. And then you stand in front of me and you face me, and we wait for that music to stop. And then as soon as the music's finished, or we fade it out, we then start the service that you and I have written together. I've written it, but you've approved that it's okay. And during the service, it'll run exactly the same as I said as a traditional wedding. So you will have your welcome to all your guests to thank them for coming to join them on this very special day. I shall then say that basically there's some questions now, and the answer is I will. And then basically then we'll have the vows, and then we'll have the ring ceremony, and then we'll also have the declaration at the end. That's announcing you both, and the wonderful kiss by the groom to you, which obviously the photographer will get. Now, I also offer an optional sand ceremony, and for those who don't know about it, you choose 2 colours of sand, and we have 2 colours, one on the outside, let's just say turquoise and cream for this example. So the groom would have the turquoise and you would have the cream, and then there'd be an empty vase in the middle, and then we'd ask the groom to pour a layer of sand, then you a layer of sand, and then basically the groom again, the bride, the groom, the bride, so that we have these layers all together. And you would take that sand home with you, and basically put it into a nice vase or a glass bowl or whatever you want, or even a picture frame. Now they do these in IKEA, there's these lovely picture frames that you can put the sand in and put it on the wall. And just as those grains of sand are joined together, so is your marriage joined together, that you can see every day and look back and remember all the memories of your special day. So that's the optional sand ceremony. I say it is optional, it's a slight little bit extra on the price, but not too much, and it's just great to remember your special day. And then obviously readings. Now, you can have a maximum of 2 readings, and they can be anything. They can be funny, they can be religious, they can be just generally a really nice poem or a little story. You can write your own if it's the guests you want them to read it, or I can send you a selection to choose from, and there are obviously lots on the internet. So while these readings are going on, I step to one side and you take a little seat. There's 2 seats provided for you. And then the reader reads the whatever you've chosen and agreed with them. And then after the readings are done, obviously we'll sign a certificate. Again, most couples choose that. It is an optional service, but most couples do choose to have that, and we need 2 witnesses for it. Once that's done, the photographer will be getting all of this throughout the ceremony, and then basically I will turn you around and I'll give you back your bouquet, I'll adjust your dress and make sure everything's perfect for you. It gives the chance for the photographer to get down the end of the aisle and capture that moment where the second piece of music starts and you walk down the aisle really slowly and everyone's photographing you and enjoying it. It's fantastic. No matter how many people you've got there, it doesn't matter. It's just the perfect moment to get that couple of you together just walking down the aisle. And then usually at the end she does a group photo, and then that's really the end of the ceremony, and then Lindsay will take over with the planning of your drinks and canopies or whatever you've planned. So I hope that gives you a bit of an idea. What I wanted to say though was that I write such a personalised service for you. So when you've paid a deposit, I will then obviously get lots of details from you, where you met, how long you've been together, any children, their names, ages, and maybe a dog or a cat or anything that you've got really that belongs to your family. And I will write that personalised service for you. So every one of my services is unique, the same as every wedding that Lindsay does is unique. So feel free to ask me any questions at the end, or as I say, you can message me afterwards as well if you prefer. So I hope that gives you a bit of knowledge of the service. It's about 30 minutes, so not too long, but not too short either. And I hope, you know, we can all work together and have a fantastic wedding day for you. Thank you, Lindsay. Anything else you'd like me to cover? Lindsay, are you there?
Hi there. Thank you so much, Jack. No, that's absolutely perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So yeah, that was a really great insight into the whole blessing ceremony and how it all works, and I think it's really important to have that information, because these are all little questions and things that appear in your mind, and sometimes you just want those questions answered, and Jackie really did provide such a great detailed you know, insight into how it would all work out here for you. So now I'm going to show you some of the top Lanzarote wedding venues. There are so many beautiful, outstanding venues in Lanzarote. I simply cannot go through them all because I will be here probably for hours. And you'd probably all be very tired of not only hearing my voice, but also the amount of information. So what I've done is I've selected some of the top ones, so the most popular wedding venues, and also wedding venues that I work with exclusively as well. So some of them that I have that, you know, that fortunate side of being able to work with exclusively, and they are absolutely beautiful places. So here goes. So the first venue that I'd like to share with you is the Amora restaurant. So the Amora restaurant is set in Porto Calero, which is approximately 10 minutes from Arrecife Airport. You're within 5 minutes from Porto del Carmen, and I would say around 30 minutes from Playa Blanca, and the same to Costa Teguise. So it's a really good coastal venue. It's set in a luxury marina, and it really is a fantastic restaurant. So it's a Michelin rated restaurant, and it has spectacular sea views looking out to sea. It's really, really private, and depending on the number of guests that you would have, you have the choice of 2 stunning ceremony terraces. So to the left you can see the downstairs terrace, which looks directly onto the boats, and then you also have the upstairs terrace, as you can see there, which is a service that Jackie carried out, and you know, that one is for smaller numbers. So if you're looking at anything from say just 2 people up to around 50, you can consider the upstairs terrace, but on the larger numbers, the downstairs terrace usually tends to be favourable with couples. It really is beautiful. So it has those spectacular sea views. It's really, really private. And also, the service at the hotel is really, really good. They're a very recognised wedding venue, so they have the experience of being able to cater for all numbers, which is absolutely brilliant. And the restaurant itself really does provide great food and drinks, and it's a really, really favoured place actually amongst the Swedish royal family and also local politicians. So it really is one of the best places and one of the best restaurants. So this would be the evening reception. So I'm just going to, give you an insight into how your wedding day would work here. So you'd have, for example, your ceremony either on the upstairs or the downstairs terrace. Say it's the downstairs terrace. Then after your ceremony, which would take approximately 30 minutes, we would then guide the guests up to the upstairs area. So the previous page where you saw the ceremony on the upstairs terrace, that would be the area for your cocktail reception. And this is lovely because it's really nice, spacious area. It has gorgeous views, and you can have really nice cocktail reception music playing, whether that's an acoustic duo, whether that's a female vocalist, whether that's a guitarist or a harpist. And you can just enjoy time with your wedding party before you would go inside for your evening reception. So the wedding reception would be in one of the 2 rooms, depending on the size of your wedding, but you would have this exclusively for your whole wedding day, up until about 1 o'clock. And it really is fantastic. They dress the tables beautifully, and as you can see here, this is one wedding that where the couple decided to go with the optional white seats and organza sashes. So included in your ceremony would be the white seats. They have two star columns with beautiful floral decoration, and a celebrant's table, and obviously seating for the bride and groom at the front. You have your sound system included in that, and you also have for the evening reception, sorry, you also have the candelabras, the white candelabras are centerpieces, or you can actually opt for something more personalized if you have your own ideas, which is also absolutely fine. It's a really fantastic room, or both rooms are, depending on the size, and it gives you the opportunity to be able to have your wedding party inside and outside, and it really is in a lovely setting. So that's the Amora. The next place is the Hotel Hesperia Lanzarote, which is a 5-star hotel. This is also in the resort of Porto Calero, just down the road from the Amora restaurant. And this is one of the finest hotels on the island, and definitely the best beach wedding venue, I would say. Just purely based on the on the numbers that you can have. Minimum numbers here at Hesperia are from 40 people. Just going back to the Amora slightly, there is no restrictions there in numbers, which I just wanted to point out to you. But on Hesperia, this is an ideal beach venue for 40 guests and above. If you have less than 40, that's also absolutely fine, but just bear in mind that their minimum pricing is based on 40. So what's included in their package for the ceremony? As you can see, the ceremony would be on the Lanz Beach Club area, looking directly out to sea. It has a great backdrop, really totally private, which is just beautiful. This can be yours exclusively for the whole entire wedding day, up until 11 o'clock in the evening. And you also have the option to take the celebrations on further into the night in the disco area, which you can have up until 3 to 4 a.m. So your wedding ceremony would be on the beautiful beach here. You have the choice of a red carpet or a beige carpet. Automatically included is the white seats, and they also offer a bow in a matching colour of the ivory seats. And if you wanted something a little bit more personal to your and suited to your style, that's absolutely fine. We can organise that. And you would have then, say, your ceremony here carried out by Jackie, our wedding celebrant, and then you would then take the cocktail reception onto the outside decking area, where you can enjoy the beautiful views, have some beautiful photos with your family and your friends, and enjoy top quality canapes and drinks on the decking area terrace. It's, as I said, it's totally private and exclusive, and the views are beautiful. And depending on the time of year, you have the opportunity to have your wedding reception either on the outside beach area or inside in the La Caleta restaurant, which is just to the side of where the decking area is. It really is absolutely beautiful. It's stunning. There are other areas within the hotel that you can also have your wedding blessing. So you're able to have your wedding blessing on a garden area also, which I'm happy to be able to provide you photos for if that's something that would be of interest to you. And there's also a couple of other dining areas, so wedding reception areas where you can enjoy your reception if, say, your wedding party is 90 and above. So you can really cater for about up to 90 people at the Lanz Beach Club. So this is the Hesperia. The next venue that I'd like to mention is Villa of Dreams. This is an exclusive luxury villa. It's part of the luxury wedding villa collection that I offer, and you know, I'm very, very thrilled to be the wedding planner and the only wedding planner who is able to offer this to couples. This is set in the resort of Playa Blanca, which is about 30 to 40 minutes transfer time from Arrecife Airport. So you can have this beautiful luxury villa to yourselves for the entire day of your wedding day. There's a beautiful area, as you can see, where you can have your wedding blessing ceremony, and included is the lovely white, stylish contemporary chairs, red carpet, celebrant's table, and some floral decoration for the celebrant's table. So this is a nice private section of an area that you can have, which is set up just for you. It is very, very unique in the fact that you're sharing your wedding day with just those that are nearest and dearest to you, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. Your cocktail reception can then be taken poolside, so there's a lovely large pool area, and you can have really lovely high tall tables and some seating beside the pool. You can sip on champagne, have a cocktail reception, and the minimum guests, there's no real minimum guests here. It suits up to about 50 guests here. It's lovely because up to 20 people. The actual villa and the owners of the villa provide a fantastic wedding meal and drinks beverage package. And then after 20 people, we look to get professional outside catering in, and we can really create a fantastic menu for you to choose, which will suit what you would like and your guests, and all within the budget that you'd like. You have some lovely stylish round tables and a nice rectangular table for your top table. And this is an area that's all nicely sheltered, nicely shaded, but you also have those sea views, which is really important. There's local, there's literally toilets very, very close by. And also what's really beautiful is they actually have a downstairs bridal suite that you can, that the bride can use in her wedding party. So for example, her bridal party, sorry. So the bride and the bridesmaids can get ready, have bubbly, have their hair and makeup done, and relax, knowing that they haven't got to travel to the venue, that all the bride needs to do and the bridesmaids is walk up a beautiful staircase to the entrance of the ceremony, and there you would be. And you're also able to go and, you know, touch your makeup and, you know, and refresh after the ceremony and at any time throughout the day also, which is also really nice. And these tables here clear away of an evening for us to have a DJ, and you can have this here up until 11:30, which is brilliant. The next venue is the Arrecife Grand Hotel and Spa. This is in the heart of the capital, and it really is a stunning, stunning hotel. It's 5-star and it has a beautiful spa. I was really fortunate to be a guest there last weekend for my 5-year anniversary, and they really did look after us from start to finish. The hotel rooms are to a really, really high standard, and the facilities are absolutely brilliant from even before the wedding and also afterwards if you're looking to incorporate it. into a honeymoon. So they offer really nice styling set up for the ceremony, as you can see here. This is really, really beautiful, and the views are just really, yet again, spectacular. But what I say about the Arrecife Grand Hotel is this is the tallest building in Lanzarote, and the views are quite high up here. So the views that you get are so panoramic that you can't see these views anywhere else on the island. And this is definitely a selling point with this venue, because if sea views are something that's really important to you and you're wanting to take in that sunshine and enjoy the warm weather and be in such a beautiful setting, then this really is one to consider. Also, a massive advantage to this particular venue is there's no minimum numbers. So whether it's just 2 people, a nice, a couple wanting a nice small intimate ceremony, or whether it's a larger ceremony of over 100 people, this can cater for absolutely everyone. And so it's a really, really good choice. And the picture here is on the 17th floor of the Arrecife Grand Hotel. I dined there last weekend, so if you want to see a few more photos, do feel free to go onto my Lanzarote Wedding Planner Facebook page. You'll see some more. You'll also see a video that I did on the hotel room and the facilities and the views. And it's also nice to have a little cheeky look just to get an insight really into that particular hotel, as is other places as well for you to consider. So with it being on the 17th floor, you really do have those panoramic views. And you'd have your own private area in the Altamar restaurant, which will be yours exclusively. They can style this in those beautiful white Tiffany style chairs, and really tastefully with the centerpieces. Or like I say, I can style this and decorate this to exactly the style that you would like. So this is in with your color scheme and in what the visions you have for how your wedding day would look. It's so stylish and modern. The food is absolutely fantastic, to a very, very high standard. And as I said, the accommodation is top class. And it's literally just 5 minutes transfer time from Arrecife Airport as well. So, when you're considering your wedding venue, there's various factors to consider. And one of them is also, how would your guests arrive at the wedding if they're not staying on site in the same place as the wedding? Is it easy access? Is there much of a transfer time? How are they going to arrive? And it's fair to say that the places that I've pointed out to you so far this evening, they're all brilliant possibilities for you. So it really all depends on what gives you that little bit of excitement and those butterflies in your stomach as to the one that you will inquire after this webinar with me about. So this is the Arrecife Grand Hotel, and really, really beautiful, like I say. Chairs, sound system, evening reception setup. This can all be done, and this is all part of what's quoted in their prices, which is brilliant. The pool and the lounge area, the lounge bar area is where the ceremonies take place. And of the evening, we also take it back to that area as well. There's a beautiful private area that you can have and dance the night away, which is lovely, and choose the style of entertainment that you'd also want for your wedding. So I'm very, very excited to be able to give you a little bit more information on a fabulous brand new venue called Plaza de la Ermita in Playa Blanca. It is absolutely stunning. This is a really rustic Canarian wedding venue. Sorry. And this is in Playa Blanca, right in the Marina Rubicon. So another fantastic luxury setting. So just visualize being in a marina, close your eyes and think about all the yachts, silly, right ahead of you, really pretty setting, and just having that, that true beauty around you, because this is a beautiful place to choose for your wedding day, as is all of them. But this, I feel, if you're looking for something quite rustic and traditional, then this is definitely the place. So you could, although we aren't able to have legal weddings here in Lanzarote and church legal weddings, this is the next best thing that we can offer. If that is something that is still in the back of your mind, that's something that you still like, but you're just not sure how you will be able to do it. So Plaza de la Ermita is a beautiful chapel that we can set up as a wedding blessing ceremony where Jackie will be able to perform the wedding blessing for you. And we can have lovely white stylish chairs with matching sashes to suit your colour scheme. And then we can then take the guests and yourselves to the lovely courtyard that I just showed you in the previous clip, in the previous slide. And you can enjoy cocktail reception on the beautiful Spanish courtyard, or inside the pop-up bar, which is a really funky, stylish, contemporary chill-out lounge, which can be totally decorated to suit exactly how you would like. It's a really bespoke venue. So what I mean by bespoke is this is really tailored to how you would like, and it really is fantastic. We would get outside catering in to be able to write a menu that you and your husband to be would like, which will suit everybody's palates and what you would want. And you have this area exclusively all night long, and there isn't really tight restrictions in terms of the time that your wedding could finish either, which I think is definitely one of the pluses for here. And as you can see, it's just absolutely lovely. And if you're looking at, say, the evening reception, you can have this back inside the beautiful chapel, and we can set that out. So when you're enjoying your cocktail reception outside, we'll simply close those chapel doors, and we will then set up for the evening, where you can enjoy your meal in the beautiful chapel itself. And this can be really tastefully decorated to have some of those traditional values, but also in a modern feel. So this is Plaza de la Ermita, and once again, there's no minimum numbers here, and this means that there's total flexibility, and this is absolutely possible for everybody. So yes, this is definitely a venue if you're thinking, if you wanted that, the church, the ceremony and the blessing, this is something that would definitely tick those boxes. So these are the top 5 venues that I wanted to share with you this evening. I really hope you've enjoyed taking a look at those venues. There's so many different venues to choose from, really there is, and I work with all of the major Lanzarote venues. So from basically like cultural Lanzarote landmarks to restaurants to hotels, I can pretty much cater to whatever you want, to whichever budget. But what I'd like to do now is give you the opportunity to ask any questions that you might have. Please don't be scared. I'm really happy to answer them for you. Simply just type your questions in to the questions tab, and I will happily answer them. And also, if you have any questions for Jackie, that's also fine. I'll be able to unmute Jackie so she can answer any of the questions. Okay, so I believe I have a question. Okay, let's have a read. Do you offer transport options for guests at the wedding? Yes, I do. So the question that I've been asked is about transport side of things. So yes, transport can be arranged at any of the venues, and it all depends really on where you know, where the guests are staying and how many pickups that you would like. But we can definitely, and this is something I can definitely arrange for you. So we'd be able to maybe have a couple of pickup points from the nearest place where the guests will be staying. And then we'd take them to the venue and also arrange for them to be collected at the end of the evening. So yes, that's absolutely fine. Can I see any other questions? Okay. So I see that there's a question here about the ceremony side. So somebody's kindly asked what they'd need to present paperwork-wise out here for their blessing ceremony. This is something I can answer for you. So Jackie, all Jackie would need for the blessing ceremony would be a picture or a photo of the marriage certificate, the legal paperwork, that you would be able to send to her on an email or on message, and that's all that she would need, obviously, for the blessing ceremony side. Very, very straightforward. Any more questions? Honestly, don't be scared. Prices. Well, prices really depend on the venue. So how we determine prices are how many people, that's really important. How many people, which venue, because every venue prices very, very differently. And also what kind of services that you would want. So, you know, you might want photography, but you might not want videography. You may want to have bridal hair but not makeup, or you might want both. I can pretty much provide prices and be able to pretty much you know, give you an idea based on exactly what you would want. I hope that's clear. I cater for all budgets because I work on just small numbers. So I plan for weddings that are, say, 10 people up until over 100. So it all really depends on the number of guests. For a wedding of between 20 to 30 people, you would be looking at anything from starting from about €4,500. And this can go up depending on, like I say, what you want. And, you know, it all depends on the venue. It's very, very hard to be able to say it would, for example, be that amount, because like I say, this really does differ. 40 to 50 people, this can be anything from around 6,000 to 7,000 onwards. So that's an idea in terms of pricing. But as I say, this really does depend on each venue because each venue has their own pricing structure. I got another question here. Hang on a second. What's my favourite venue? That's a really, really tricky question because I got married here. So it makes me very, very biased. They're all absolutely gorgeous venues. What I always say to my couples is, you know, list what's your priority. So is it a sea view? Do you want beach? You know, is it good food? What's the list of what's really, really important? And what's also, say, the things that you're more flexible on, that you don't mind compromising a little with. My favourite venue is Amora, but that's just because it's a very special and dear place to me. I also it's really hard on a photo and videos to be able to really show the true beauty of any venue, but Amora is stunning if you're wanting the views, and just a general lovely place that you can have you know, fantastic photos. It's absolutely beautiful. As is Villa of Dreams in Playa Blanca, because that's a luxury villa. That is something a little bit different, you know, which is quite unique. So I hope that helps. I'm loving the questions, I have to say. It's really, really nice to be able to answer the questions for you. So any more questions before I leave? Yeah. So I've been asked about the Villa of Dreams and price options. Okay, so pricing really, it all depends on the numbers for there. You would be looking at starting around 5,000 with there. That would be based on 20 to, I would say, around 6 to 6,500 for 30 to 40 people. If there's any venues that you've seen tonight that you really like the look of, and you'd like to know a little bit more information, or as I said, there are so many wedding venues here in Lanzarote, there really is. If there's something that really you truly want to achieve for your wedding and you want that specific setting, then do feel free to message me. As I say, I'm more than happy to provide you all with some sample pricing to give you an idea. And as I say, we then, after the booking stage, we then look to obviously tailor this to be more personal. Jackie's also just, I'm going to lift Jackie actually, so she can say this. Hi Jackie, I just thought it'd be great to get you on to answering the questions as well, because I know that you wanted to comment obviously on some of the things that we spoke about.
Hi, yes. My advice to all of you really would be, you know, to get in touch with Lindsay and just to get a quote on a couple of different venues to give you ideas to compare it. Because once you get an idea of the price, you can then either chop a little bit off and change it and compromise, or you can add a little bit on. But I know obviously everyone works to a budget, but it's just so difficult sometimes when you don't really know how many people are coming, but you want a rough idea. It's difficult, I know, but as I say, get the quotes, start talking to Lindsay and see where you can compromise on certain things, or as I say, build up on it, whatever feels good for you.
Thank you, Jackie, that's really, really helpful. I think I was talking then. Okay, so I just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. It's absolutely brilliant. I really hope that I found that this has been useful for you all and it's helped answer those questions somewhat. Do feel free to get in touch with me on email. I'm not sure if you got the last part, which was info@lanzaroteweddingplanner.com. That's my email. If you aren't already on my Facebook, do feel free to go on there as well and have a little look. Thank you very, very much for tuning in, and I look forward to hearing off you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.